a delicious bowl of chili on a cold rainy night. Let me show you how I do it. In my pot here, I have about 2 pounds of ground beef. It was very, very frozen and I had to defrost it. So what I do is I defrost it slowly but surely in the pot and I season it so that way as it's defrosting, it's still getting all of those spices and everything that I put in it. I seasoned it with adobo, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, a little bit of smoked paprika also, some chili powder, and a little bit of oregano. My ground beef is nice and brown. In here, I have some onions, a green bell pepper, and a red bell pepper. I just had some fresh ingredients left over, so I used about half of a big onion. I used an entire small red bell pepper, and then about 3/4 of a green bell pepper. Basically, just like to use up whatever I have left. Chili's really good for that. If you have like fresh ingredients and things that you just want to get rid of before they go bad, make a chili. My frozen cubes, I'm gonna put about 3 of them in here. More ingredients that were just almost out the door, right? So I have some Roma tomatoes here that I had left over from a pico de gallo that I made the other day. And I'm just gonna throw those in there. A big tablespoon and a half of tomato paste. Give that a nice mix. This chili was a little bit of a last minute decision. So I usually like to use regular, just plain old crushed tomatoes. I didn't have those on hand. So I'm using these little cans of salsa de tomate, which is perfectly fine because tomato sauce. It's just got a couple of extra spices in it and that's fine too. It's just gonna make it taste better. But just be careful how much salt you put in the ground beef, knowing that you're gonna use one of these. Fill these up with water to get the rest out. If you saw my other video, you already know what to do with the rest of this tomato paste. I'm gonna pop a lid on this and let it cook for about 30 minutes. My chili has been simmering away on about medium low for about 25 minutes. Now here's where it becomes your choice. I don't like a lot of beans in my chili, so I have 1 can of pink beans here that I rinsed and drained. I like for my beans to be nice and soft, so that's why I put them in here now. You can put the beans in the last 30 minutes, last 20 minutes, last 15 minutes, whatever you want. You can also put in multiple cans of beans, different kinds of beans. That part is totally up to you. Let it go for another hour, nice and low and slow. So my chili is done. She's thick and she's beautiful right at the end. Just taste it for seasoning, adjust anything that needs to be adjusted. I did have to add a little bit more seasoning to it and hit it with some dry parsley just so that you get some of that color. If you have fresh, go ahead and add fresh. If you have fresh cilantro and all of that, you can add that too. Delicious. I'm gonna show you really quickly how I like to top my chili before I serve it. I like a little bit of this Mexican blend cheese right over the top. I have a little bit of pico de gallo that I made the other day. Just a little. And some sour cream. I happen to have some green onions, so I'm gonna throw a few of those on there too. Look at that. My husband decided he wanted to have his with some Hawaiian rolls. I usually like to have mine with some tortilla chips. I happen to have some leftover fresh ones that I made the other day. Take a little bit of that chili. Make sure you don't burn yourself now, because I'd be quick to burn myself. Look at that. That's so good. We're missing one thing. Actually, we're missing 2 things. I already told you about this Trader Joe's guaca salsa. And some hot sauce. Ooh, look at that. Never mind my dirty counters, because now she's perfect.